Draftsociety.com presents a Premier League Draft Fantasy Podcast. Welcome to the Key Pass Collective. Your exclusive source for the information, analysis, and advice you need to dominate your fantasy leagues. Come on in. We've been expecting you.
Draft heads, what is happening? Merry Christmas and happiest of holidays to everybody out there listening. We are in fact going to be celebrating Draftmas here today. So we'll tell you about those festivities in just a bit. But welcome into everybody. Of course, Key Pass Collective, welcome. My name's Joe. I'll be your host for this particular episode. We'll have some other festive chaps joining us here in just a minute. But let's get through some of the preliminary details first. As you can see, I've got a strange blue glow on me here today. That's because I've had to move my studio setup to the other room. We've got some company in town, so you know we're festive here as well and rolling with the punches. So hope everybody's having a wonderful, hopefully holiday break and taking a little rest and relaxation. And we're here to help get you through that time and hopefully give you some good fantasy advice in the process. Reminder that the Draft Society, of course, is your home to all of your draft needs to dominate this draft fantasy football game. Of course, it's the Key Pass Collective is the audio companion to the Draft Society, but the Draft Society's got everything in terms of your stats, your written components, your articles, all the number crunching, everything that you could possibly need to do. Let's look at that for just a second. So head over to the Draft Society. Top 75 consensus ranks, waiver wire articles every week, sleepers 11 every week, draft stats that are pretty extensive that come to you completely free. All of that completely free. And then, of course, we do have a members only section as well. If you're interested, and if you want to help support an independent fantasy football website, of course, you can join the Inner Circle. We would love it. We would appreciate you. We appreciate all of the Inner Circle members already. You guys keep the lights on and help us keep doing what we're doing. So that's going to give you all kinds of insider stuff like you can see on the screen currently. If you're listening to the podcast, though, of course, sortable consensus, top 150 rankings every time there's an international break. We've got player points projections every week that are built into our toolkit. Rest of season player rankings every single week from Robbie. Extra articles weekly, including Brian's Ghost Point Hunter. You can join our Discord that is completely exclusive. You can send us confidential trade advice emails. There's all kinds of stuff on there. We think it's really worth it, especially if you get the season pass and you get the fantasy toolkit, which is kind of like our crown jewel. Made by DraftLad, and it is incredible. It is bespoke. It is tailored to your specific Fantrax ID, and it's going to help you make waiver wire pickups. It's going to help you value your players in terms of trade. We'll actually give you numbers so you can kind of figure out the weight of the trade and who maybe wins or how to get it more even. Team power rankings for every team in your league. Transaction data for the game week from all Fantrax leagues and also the community leagues, what we call the big three. Suggestions to add or drop. It's all there. It's all there, and you get it with the season pass. And speaking of that, we have a bit of a Draftmas sale going on currently. So if you're willing, or if you've been thinking about supporting us and grabbing that season pass, now would be an amazing time to do it. We would recommend you go out and grab that. On sale now for the low price of $30 for the rest of the season. Grab that. Head over to our Twitter if you want more details on that. But of course, go to thedraftsociety.com if you want to go ahead and sign up. We would appreciate you. And you'll, of course, have access to the toolkit then, that's kind of the reason why you want to do it in the first place. One last thing before we jump into today's episode is we are doing another Boxing Day Perfect 11. So this is a $3 entry, and we are going to run as big a one as we can possibly get. So hoping for hundreds of people to join this thing. And it's one day only. Boxing Day, you can pick any player you want, add them to your 11. Your goal is just to get the highest score. There's no there's no restrictions like in FPL or anything like that. You just pick whoever you want, whoever you think has the best matchup or is just going to go off that day. You can pick any player you want, and we're going to pay out the top 3 with prize money. So check that out. It's pretty awesome. And again, you can head over to our Twitter at the Draft Society and check that out and go ahead and join that. That's going to be pretty fun. So no further commitment, by the way. That's just kind of the one-day thing, and you don't have to sign up for anything long-term. So join up Boxing Day Perfect 11. It's going to be a great time. All right, let's bring in some festive fellows. Everybody, how are you doing? We've got Toddy, we've got Ryan, we've got Sanji joining us for our Draftmas. Happy Draftmas, everybody. Festive spirits. How's everybody doing?
Currently saving my liver for Christmas.
Okay. I mean, that's
I'm good. I'm good.
I
refused going out with Robbie tonight. I made a better judgment call. Figured I was gonna get absolutely destroyed for the holidays, but looking forward to it, honestly. And kind of glad that the football game week has kicked off as well. When we've decided to pod again. So yeah, all good, man. All good. How are you guys doing?
I mean, I would be better if I hadn't had Matoma and a couple other assets in tonight's match, but that's fine.
We're all there. We're all there with you.
Yeah. No. Ryan, how are things? Are you muted?
Wouldn't be 2023 without Ryan having mic issues.
The year of the microphone. The year of the microphone. It's on. I see it, but we still can't hear you. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Check.
Nope.
Nope.
Keep trying.
We just had our office Christmas party today.
Okay. Yep.
And I'm surprisingly sober afterwards. So
good for you.
What? How?
I mean,
why?
I'm the boss, so
I
kind of have to keep the lights on. Have to pay at the end.
That's fair.
So needed to be a bit reserved, so to say. But
yeah. We had one at the house of our principal again. So this has now been a couple of years running since COVID, and there's one teacher that always brings pudding shots, and the mother of our principal ended up going around and just like pawning them off on people. So it's just the weirdest thing to see, like this grandmotherly woman walking around with a basket full of pudding shots, basically trying to get people drunk. So, but it's off to an interesting start.
What kind of pudding?
So she makes like 7 or 8 different flavors. There's one with like creme de menthe that it's like a Girl Scout cookie one. She does a butterscotch one. She does one that is like cookies and cream. There's an eggnog one. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's delicious. They're delicious.
I mean, I've obviously done a lot of Jello shots in my time, but never
obviously.
Shots. Yeah. Obviously, anybody that's worth their salt and gone to college in this country has done Jello shots. But
fair. That is fair.
Interesting. Yeah.
Oh man.
Toddy, I'm sorry, Toddy. Quick question on the sweater. Is that font in the style of the Wolfsburg? Yeah. The old school Liverpool jersey. That's nice. Yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah.
It's classic football shirts ran football like ugly sweater range, and they have some very good ones. And this is the Steven Gerrard one. It has the 8 on the back.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Stevie's in my picture here as well, I think. This guy.
Before we kick things off, let's just say hey to peeps in chat who are watching us live. We're a day late this week, but normally we're gonna pod on Wednesdays. Although with the festive fixtures, we'll see. We'll let everyone know on Twitter what our schedule is going to be. But Pubs with Ab always here. What's going on? Divine Smokey, I think that is. How's it going, man? Banta Gramps. Have we seen this one? Banta Gramps is with us.
I feel like it's the same person. They're just changing their name.
It's got to be the same person, but they're bringing it every single week, which is awesome. And here
Christmas,
I thought,
though. We've got to welcome it all. So
of course, and that's your family.
Even Evan's here. Look at this.
And even Evan is here. Omar, what's going on, man? Welcome everybody. Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. All right, and of course you're getting compliments on your jumper in chat as well, Toddy. So that's awesome.
Check it out. This is not sponsored content, but
no, not at all.
Classic football shirts. I think maybe you're probably late for Christmas, but yeah, maybe you can jump. I mean, they have a shop in Manchester and maybe in London, so you can pop in and buy some of these. They have like 25 different designs.
That's one of those where, like, if you were truly inspired, print out a picture of what you just bought and like give that to somebody in like a card, and then they'll know that it's coming for them, and just have it in the mail.
I mean, as a present, that's fine.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
If you want to actually wear it for Christmas night, then that's probably less fine to wear a cutout.
Just tape
like a sandwich man.
Tape the piece of paper to your shirt. No, yeah, you're right. That's not as festive. Yeah, fair enough. Josh, what's going on, man? Welcome. Fellow Raleigh resident, Josh Foss joining us.
That's a good one too.
What's going on, brother?
Friends.
Yeah.
We're all showing sweaters.
We are indeed. I have a flannel. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on. This is ridiculous. All right. Today on the KPC, I already mentioned that it was going to be Draftmas. Well, we have a Draftmas Carol for you. It's our version of the classic tale of the classic Christmas tale. And we have a Draftmas version. So we're going to be sharing that in just a second with all of our favorite characters that everyone knows and loves. Then we're going to have some listener questions. We asked for those earlier today, and you guys delivered, which was amazing. We asked for that over Twitter and in Discord, and got some from both. So that was pretty cool. Followed by Gameweek 18 waivers and stashes, of course, as always. And then if you guys in the chat have any questions as we go, we'll try to get to them. Go ahead and ask us. But let's move it right along. Boys, a Draftmas Carol. Okay. So like I said, we've amended this just a little bit. We've repurposed it to our needs, and we are going to go through this Draftmas Carol character by character, and we're gonna share what player or person involved with the Premier League we think fits best with this classic Christmas Carol character. Except for, of course, this is the Draftmas, so this is all going to be Draft PL related. So let's kick it off. Draftmas Scrooge. Of course, Draftmas Scrooge, and we're going with the Scrooge early in the story, before he has his transformation. At least that's how I took it. I think you guys probably did as well. But Draftmas Scrooge, this is of course somebody who is bah humbugging all of your fantasy points, bah humbugging, just scoring football in general, exciting football, just stuff that's fun to watch and also creates points on the pitch. In our fantasy game, just somebody who's just creating havoc and really making our lives terrible. So, Ryan, since you're in the top left here on the list, who is your Draftmas Scrooge and why?
I was thinking about the managers that are taking too much advantage of the 5 subs to yank a ton of different assets. Likely at halftime, and De Zerbi and I think Unai Emery are the two that are most guilty of doing that, which makes it very hard to roster anybody from those 2 teams that aren't Ollie Watkins or Pascal Gross, basically.
Yep.
I mean, you had Adingra usually goes the full 90, but he was yanked at halftime. Obviously, João Pedro is constantly being yanked early or benched and coming on relatively early, so he's hard to roster. And it just makes it hard for those streamers that you previously would punt on because they are good players on a good attacking team, but now you can't even do it. The Buonanottes get pulled off at 45 with 2 points. And yeah, don't get me started on Zaniolo, who I don't think he's eclipsed the 0.5 mark this entire season. So they're two managers that are killing, I think, fantasy managers in this festive season, and goes against the entire spirit of the season.
Yeah, exactly. And the draft game, which I'm sure they all care about so much. Yeah. All right, Toddy, sticking with the theme of managers here.
Yeah, I mean, I was late to the dock, so when I saw 3 managers in there, then I went with the 4th one.
Yeah, the funny thing is we didn't have to go managers. We just happened to all go managers.
I think I'm to blame because, Joe, you rightly started with Nuno Espirito Santo, and I was like, all right, yeah, I'll kick that off. And then by the time we have a critical mass with 2, then it's like, yeah, this is the theme. So
that's fair. That's fair.
So I went with old Pochettino, and it's just for the reason that I was facing Chelsea stack the other day against Sheffield United, and usually when you face a big name team against a relegation candidate, you are bracing yourself for a humbling or just a huge points tally, and I don't know, I don't want to say that I remember the exact points or even who I was facing, but I ended up like it was below a 10 points per person average for them against Sheffield United, and it's just and I sometimes try to get back to streaming or getting some Chelsea assets on just to look at them, but they're just so unreliable and so unghosty. Like there's some games where Palmer does well, Gallagher actually is decent, but all the rest are just so unreliable that I have nominated old Pochettino for the Scrooge award.
And I don't blame you at all. I wonder if that changes in the new year at all, but that's going to be interesting to see.
I think he's still going to be Scrooge, maybe a different kind of one, and more towards what Ryan said about the subs and the rotation, because finally they're getting healthy, except for Reece James. But
he doesn't want to be injured.
I mean, God bless his heart. But I think there's another busy transfer window upcoming. So we'll see where they are at the end of January. But I think it's going to be again close to two full sets of teams trying to train like we were the same time last year when everyone came back from injury and Potter was mentioning that he needs to run 2 training sessions simultaneously to have everyone training at the same time. So I think it's still gonna be a mess.
Yep, I think you're right. Oh man. Well, speaking of messes, my Draftmas Scrooge is Nuno Espirito Santo. To be clear, I don't want this to be true. I do not want this to be true at all. However, past his prologue, and we've seen what his teams do on the fantasy pitch, and it's next to nothing. So I don't know why suddenly that would change at Forest. I'm pretty nervous. That's a good comment, George. I'm pretty nervous about this. I'm not holding out much hope, aside from the fact that I do roster Gibbs White. But aside from that, I mean, it's going to be just kind of a wait and see. I don't know that there are any Forest guys that you're really grabbing now in hopes that, suddenly their fantasy value takes a massive hike because of Nuno. I mean, I just don't see it.
I take offense to that.
Is this a Felipe comment?
No.
Okay,
Actually,
all right.
No,
Okay.
I was.
Is it the former Wolves manager?
It is. It is.
Bias.
Yes. This Scrooge happened to manage one of the most joyous sides in my lifetime. So I do take quite offense to that. Yeah, I mean, you got to take Spurs with a very Spursy grain of salt, because nobody could have done anything with that team. And he did win Manager of the Month, I believe in September, which is I think a Spurs only award at this point to get Manager of the Month in September, and then
don't forget the Audi Cup.
Yes, the 2008 Audi Cup. Yes.
Yeah, but that was the one where they snuck like 4 matches by 1 goal.
Yeah,
like clasping to, was it a clean sheet? I think it was one. They were all 1-0 wins, weren't they?
Yeah.
And they were clasping to this clean sheet, and it was skin of their teeth type stuff.
Yeah. No, I think it'll be a mixed bag. But to answer your rhetorical question about not knowing if anybody gets a bump, I mean, just as you mentioned, passes prologue. So if that's the case, then obviously the wingbacks usually have a very prominent role in Super NES system. So yeah, Nico and Aurier and Toffolo are probably the best bets, and I think he'll get a tune out of MGW. I mean, I know that was a little bit of tension when he was at Wolves, but I mean, he was like 16, 17 at the time, so I think that's water under the bridge, and he's going to need to get somebody cooking, because they're in trouble if not. Yeah,
that makes sense. Yes, pubs with that. It definitely should be Nuno Espirito Santo. That was an oversight on my part, and I apologize for that. Great comment. All right, Sanji, hit us with your Scrooge.
Erik ten Hag. He's kind of killed a few popular assets at Manchester United. Also, I had a quick scrape through player points output for the season so far, year-to-date totals. So there's only 3 teams whose goalkeeper is a top 2 asset in their club or represent their club. That would be Manchester United, obviously, because we're speaking about Erik ten Hag. Can anyone else guess the other 2?
Okay, hold on.
So a goalkeeper is one of their top 2 assets.
Oh, it has to be Sheffield United.
Yeah.
And
before recently, I would say Fulham, but I think
Fulham. Yeah, correct.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
look at the company that they're keeping, right? So it's crazy, man. Onana is the second highest scoring Manchester United asset, and that should definitely be someone else.
Yeah, that's rough, man. That is rough. All right, I like it. There are your Scrooges for this year's Draftmas, Carol. Anything to add before we move on from Scrooges, guys?
I don't want to bury the lead, but I'm very disappointed that there was no Tiny Tim or some obscure Fanny category.
I know. It
the hits.
It was getting long as it was, and we promised to do listener questions.
Jacob Marley.
I know Jacob. And I was trying to figure out Jacob Marley. Okay, how do you work?
They're chained to your roster, but you can't.
Yeah. Well, that would be anyway. Yeah, not to give any hints. All right, let's move it along. So one of the characters we of course do have is Bob Cratchit. Underappreciated, undervalued this year. Let's really make sure that Bob Cratchits in our life are appreciated. Let's make sure that they know how much they mean to us and how much they mean to our fantasy rosters. So, who are your Bob Cratchits for this year, Ryan?
Alfie Doughty.
Yes.
He is somebody I think that a lot of folks that roster him have probably been trying to trade on a relative high for months now, just because you think that it's going to end at some point, and that he's a Luton asset. So how valuable could he be? But he just keeps pumping in crosses and starting games. So he's Mr. Reliable, other than a few knocks. But yeah, I mean, the guy just exudes points, and I think he's been very underrated. And like I said, I think people think that the music's going to stop at some point, but he's been very serviceable. I think 9.6 ghost points per start, which is excellent.
Absurd. That's great.
It's Pedro Porro, Burn Leno numbers. So yeah, he's a guy that I personally thought I was going to get rid of him for a long time, but he's still stubbornly my mid 3 kind of set and forget. So hats off to you, Alfie. Plus he also looks very Dickensian, I would say, as well.
I would give you that. Absolutely.
Yeah. He's probably in that pickpocket gang with
I was going to say
that lot.
Yeah. Has anybody watched that new series, Artful Dodger?
No.
I'm
going to see A Christmas Carol on Saturday night, though.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, there's a new series. Artful Dodger. It just focuses on, obviously, the Artful Dodger, and it's the guy. It's the guy from the one. What's the chess one called with the
Queen's Gambit?
Yep. It's the guy from that. The guy who he was the little kid in Love Actually. It's that actor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He makes a good Artful Dodger, at least from what I've seen in the preview. Anyway,
where is it streaming?
I want to say Amazon, maybe, I'm not sure. Hulu, something like that.
Cool.
All right, Toddy, who's your Bob Cratchit?
Okay, so I actually have 2, but I think Dwight McNeil kind of now doesn't get into the underappreciated, undervalued category. I am kind of being in a bubble that Genie is in, so that's maybe my McNeil senses are being overshadowed by his eternal hate for him. But the other one is James Tarkowski, man. He's had, like, I remember talking and chatting online too about how bad of a start he had with all the other Everton assets, and I have him in almost all of my leagues. Long time fan and admirer of him, and I kind of had some shake in my belief towards him, and I tried to trade him out, and there was no takers at all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, he's turned it around.
Oh my Lord, I'm just looking at his scores right now.
He is
unbelievable,
unreal. He's
man,
and he plays all the games. He plays 90. He doesn't even get many yellows. He doesn't get suspensions. He never gets reds. He sometimes comes up with goals and assists, maybe.
Yeah.
Tarks is set and forget, sort of in the upper echelons of set and forget. With, I think, him and JWP are the sort of poster children of set and forget.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Here's to you, James Tarkowski.
Yes, indeed. What a Bob Cratchit too. He's a workman's man. I mean, he's just blue collar out there getting it done just every day. Oh man, and he's handsome too, real handsome. Anyway, Josh is asking Tarkowski or Soboslai. I'm thinking maybe he's trying to figure out trade value or like rest of season value.
We're just taking the piss.
Or just taking the piss because he's trying to figure out which one. It's like a Sophie's choice, like you have to choose one of your children. Yeah. So what's your answer?
I'll take or.
I like that. All right. Oh, Omar said he dropped Tarkowski early on. Ouch. I'm sorry, man. I'm really sorry. Okay, mine will not surprise anybody. This is the number 22 player overall. No one expected it coming into the year. I've waxed lyrical about him so many times. I mean, I'm not even going to like continue this. I'm just gonna tell you that it's Doucouré and move on because he's just the man. Like he's so fantastic. He's in attacking areas this year, a lot more than he previously has been. Injured now, but don't worry, he'll be back and he will dominate. He's the best. Doucouré, I appreciate you.
We've written him off with the arrival of Jack Harrison and Danjuma and everyone else, and he just keeps on banging them
Keeps getting it done. Yeah, almost 10.5 points per game. So here's to you, Abdoulaye. All right, Sanji. I just looked at your player. This is amazing. Back to the well, are we?
I mean, I came here to tell no lies, and I mean every word of it. Josh Brownhill, man. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of some of the points on Tarkowski as well. He just shows up, plays 90 minutes. He ticks along with points. He's come in for me when my bench has been a bunch of missing or injured Brentford players like Eze. Like, he's just filled in. I kind of just trusted the process. Didn't have to go to the waiver wire. And he keeps getting me like maybe average of 8 to 10 points, something like that.
He's been 6 or better.
Yeah.
In every single week since late October, except for 1 week. He's been 6 or better every single week. And Ryan is doing a slow clap, ironically. But
I mean, he's got more points for the season, and obviously I'm sure this is going to change, but I'm just looking at the positive at this point of the season. He's got more points than Isak, Luis Diaz, Callum Wilson, Jesus, and Rashford.
Let's throw some daggers here. Which of Ryan's favorite players does he have more points than?
Kai Havertz.
Not for long. Certainly not for long. I'll tell you that much.
No, that's fair. No, I think I was looking at your score. I was looking at your score against whoever you were playing in the game week last week, and I just happened to click on Brownhill because, of course, curiosity got the better of me, and I was like, you know what? Damn it, he's actually, for a mid 4, he's been pretty solid for you.
He's dependable.
He really has.
Can't ask more than that, man.
Yeah.
Are we? Maybe can we entice you two into a rest of the season bet for
rest of the season bet? Unfortunately, I've spent all my money on my Christmas shopping, Toti. But maybe Ryan can help you out with that one, unless both of you guys are against Brownhill in this bet. So.
No. It's gonna be you for Brownhill and Ryan for Kai.
Oh,
I'll take that.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yes, let's go. Yes, add it to the sheet. All right, I love it. Okay, those are your Bob Cratchits for this year, for this Draftmas Carol. Let's move on to the next one. This is where we get into the interesting ones. Ghost of Draftmas Pass. Yes, unfortunately, the good old days are gone, and so are the fantasy points. They've dried up. Things used to be so great, so bright, so rosy, but unfortunately, things have taken a turn for the worst. So, Ghost of Draftmas Pass. Ryan, who have you nominated?
Joachim Anderson. I called this from Jump Street. The guy always has a super hot start the first few game weeks. He did it last season, and then he just kind of rides off into the sunset.
He burned too bright.
Yeah, to be fair, he had a decent game today. I think 8.5 with a goal conceded. So you'll take that. But previously, let me go through his previous numbers. So his previous 6 starts, he had a combined total points of about 18. So talking 3 points per start in the last 6 prior to this 8.5 spot. So yeah, the guy I think is reverting to the mean. Doesn't mean he doesn't have it in his locker to to drop a monster every 3.5 months. But yeah, that's Anderson that you knew from the first 5 or 6 game weeks. He's probably not coming back. But that purple patch still has given him a decent PPG, I think over 9. So you can probably still get some value for him based on those probably inflated stats. So 8.5 today, I'd probably want to trade him out.
I propose a trade in after Arsenal. So you have Chelsea, Brentford, Arsenal coming up. And then after that, you have Sheffield United, Brighton, Chelsea, Everton, Burnley, Tottenham, Luton. That's pretty damn tasty.
Eh.
And it's Luton at home.
Yeah, it's not bad. I just don't think.
And it's Burnley at home. Yeah. And it's Sheffield United at home. I don't know. Something to think about. But that would be, if anybody's wondering, that would be after the January 20th match against Arsenal, which is away. They could get battered there. We'll see. But yeah, I like the shout. All right, Toddy, who you got? Who's your ghost of Draftmas past?
I have Luis Diaz, and I wanna have you.
This one hurts.
Close your eyes and think of the day he was announced at Liverpool. Everyone was like, Klopp takes time for his players to get up to speed. Let's not get overexcited. And then, bang, he goes. And he lights up the Premier League and the Fantasy Premier League as well. Where is this player? He has he has 2 double-digit games where he has no attacking returns. Both of them are extra circumstance games. One is the United game with 11 points, where we have actually had the most shots this season out of all of the games.
Yeah,
the most shots in that game. So obviously he's collecting key. I think he had 5 key passes, so that's 10 of his 11 points.
Yeah, but then they just lobbed the shot at Onana like it was catching practice. Yeah,
exactly. And the other one is the Fulham game where he had 14, where Liverpool were chasing the game. So all the other games is only achieved double digits with either a goal or an assist.
So what is going on?
I mean, no Sadio Mane at false 9, no Roberto Firmino at false 9, and it's a different ball game, different tactics. It's a whole different team to what he came in as, and he is very reminiscent to me. His scoring to Jota's was at Wolves, if you guys remember.
Yeah,
he had these games where he just blew up, but most of the times he was 12 points with a goal.
Yeah. Jota still does that with Liverpool a lot of times when he starts.
He still does that. He's a bit better, I think, than he was at Wolves. But yeah, he's susceptible to that. But Luis Diaz much more, because he scores much less goals than Jota does. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Be more of a Martinelli type of scorer. Take-ons, ACNCs, key passes, but he drops the shoulder and then does nothing. It's more of a pass back, Merchant, Grealish, City.
True.
Yeah. So I really don't know what to do with him. So floor is open to you guys to suggest what to do. Buy low, sell low, keep and hope. I mean, I'm probably for keep and hope, because I wouldn't want to sell low, but I'm not actively trying to get him in.
Maybe. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Sanjay.
So I was just gonna quickly suggest buy low and then trade high, like right after or when Salah comes back. I mean, it's only a couple of game weeks, but I feel like I'm just expecting a change in dynamic. Like I feel like Gakpo's gonna play some thoughts, or get some thoughts ahead of Nunez.
Do you mean when Salah leaves?
Yeah, I think it's just like because like I know it, what Gakpo came off early, but it was like what only 12 more minutes that Nunez played, something like that. Like 12,
Yeah.
but for some, I just feel like I have a gut feel like Gakpo is gonna get a start over this Christmas and maybe get some sort of a run going. I was also looking at like Liverpool's seasonal stats. In terms of third highest scorers for the season, I believe Gakpo and Nunez are tied with 7 goals each across all competitions, and he's done it in fewer minutes. So
yeah, Nunez has been bad.
Yeah, so like if that happens, like maybe Gakpo brings out the better version of Luis Diaz, who knows? But they're all gonna have to work together while Salah's gone as well. So it maybe could spark something. So I think right now is probably your best opportunity to see his value rise. I don't think it can get lower because I don't think Klopp's gonna bench him. Like I still expect him to start games more often than not. So I think buy him low or hold him. He could see an uptick, and then maybe I would potentially trade out on a high and get maybe a more nailed asset in a sense. I don't know, more reliable assets.
Yeah, I'd be all for that. All right. Well, my Ghost of Draftmas Pass is a really painful one because this is a player that I have in my community league team, and listeners / viewers, y'all know I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you. I don't often do the thing where like I keep things close to my chest so that like my team does better. Like I know people in my league listen to this, and when you hear this, I'm gonna get a million offers for this player. But look,
not this one.
No, well, I mean I'm talking like low ball offers. Mitoma, what the hell happened? It's terrible. Yeah, and as Evan brings up, he left on crutches today, which complicates this even more.
Which just kills the value.
I mean, okay, yeah, sure, but like, all right, now maybe I won't be tempted to start him. So actually, maybe this is a win. This is great.
I mean, it would be definitely a win if he ends up not going to the Asia Cup and recovers mid January and then kicks on. But
right,
I have him in all my leagues, so that's very heavy visual thinking.
He has eclipsed 10 points twice since September 30th.
Wow.
It's really bad. Like if you don't roster him, you're not really aware. It's really, really bad. Yeah. I mean,
it's the inverse of his last season.
Right.
He was nowhere. He wasn't even in the team until the end of September, and then he just couldn't go below double digits.
And the funny thing is we would always talk about how like he's surprisingly goal and assist dependent, right? And we like he doesn't seem like he should be, because when you write a dissertation on dribbling, of course, one would think that you wouldn't be that reliant on your attacking returns, but unfortunately he is. And when they're not there, which I mean, look at Brighton in general, going back to Ryan Scrooge, like that, what are you supposed to do? Evan saying many hypothesize that he hasn't been fully fit since the initial injury. No, I completely agree. I watched him almost exclusively today, and there were many times where he was just standing. I mean, he wasn't like he was jogging. It just wasn't what we're used to seeing from him, and that's been a theme. So yeah, I mean, let the low ball offers come in. I guess I'm at my wit's end, and I'm pretty frustrated by this one. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Kaoru Mitoma. So sorry. All right, Sanji.
Sticking to my Manchester United abuse.
Sure.
We're all here for it.
Yes.
We love that.
But Marcus Rashford, man. Just when you thought it couldn't get worse,
Yeah.
it did. Now he doesn't even start football games. So
because you thought he was like nailed for 90, right? Like, or at least 75.
yeah, it's rough, man. It's so rough. Like I've got managers in our Discord asking, "What are we doing with Rashford? What do we do with Rashford?" That's like, I swear to God, the daily question sometimes. Yeah, it's crazy, man, because this guy was drafted maybe round 1 to early round 3. Let's say.
I mean, if you got him in round 3, you were thinking you won your league.
Late round 1, early round 2.
Yeah.
I actually am feeling very, don't know where to put this, because I traded out Madison to get in Rashford and Mitoma, and I was like,
and you somehow lost it.
I somehow lost it. I was so over the moon with that trade.
At the time, that looked so good, I bet. Oh, no.
The only saving grace is that I ended up trading Rashford out to get Olise in, which kind of saved me some value. But yeah, that's... I mean, even an injured Madison is better than those two right now.
Yeah. I'm with you. Anything else, Sanji? I think it speaks for itself.
No, man. My sympathies. Hopefully you guys have enough like booze or food or gifts to kind of have a happy end to the year, because I'm concerned. I really am concerned.
Yeah. I'm
in a dynasty league that drafted beginning of last season, and I had the choice of drafting Rashford or DCL, and I went with DCL because at the beginning of last season, Rashford was injured, and I was banging my head into the wall since then. Because last season Rashford obviously kicked on and DCL was nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
But now I'm kind of, maybe I made the right choice.
Exactly. Here's the question, and we don't have to dwell on this, but like, of all these players, which one would you be willing to bring in now on a gamble that they're going to come good?
Of the 4 that we talked about?
Yep, of these 4 on the screen.
I think Diaz is the sort of highest possibility.
Anderson, Diaz, Mitoma, Rashford.
I was gonna say Diaz, Totti, Joe, Ryan, Mitoma, Anderson, Rashford. There's 8 names on this sheet, and I put Rashford at the bottom of them.
You put Rashford below all of us. Thank you. That's flattering. I've not done anything too exceptional lately, but because of you saying that, I'm going to try my best now.
I mean, look at these festive slides. For anyone that's on the stream, Joe
I did do that.
Job, man.
I did do that.
Fantastic.
They're pretty good. Pretty good. All right, let's move. What did he say? Oh, all of their value goes up except for Anderson. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
That's what Evan's saying in chat for those listening. All right, Ghost of Draftmas present. Ghost of Draftmas present. My fault. So the explanation here is be thankful for what you have, live in the moment. The idea that, and I think we all kind of like got that, even though I didn't spell it out. But maybe this isn't something that's going to last forever. You got to just, while you have it, you have to cherish it.
Is this the non-festive equivalent of ride until the wheels fall off?
It's basically
That's how I took it. Yeah,
that's honestly what this is, to be honest. Like that, yeah, it's exactly what this is. Ride until the wheels fall off. So, Ghost of Draftmas present. We're going to be thankful for what we have. We're going to live in the moment while we have it. It's precious. So, Ryan, who is your ghost?
I mean, this was the easiest question of the bunch. Pablo Sarabia, all day. Get him on a free 3.5 weeks ago. 3 game weeks later, he's averaging almost 14. over the last 3 games.
Yep.
Obviously, it's not going to last because Pedro Neto's probably coming back. Not this game week, but next. He'll regain sets, and Sarabia will maybe keep a spot, but it just won't be as valuable, or he'll go back to the bench. So it's just like a eat, pray, love right now, and just enjoy it.
Yes. Ryan, is there a chance that he is a bit of a flat track bully?
It's hard to say because he's balled out in every start of the last 3.
True.
I mean, he has another easy foe this week, so you can't really count that. When's the next tough matchup?
I mean, away at Brentford can be tough.
Yeah,
but honestly, it looks pretty solid right now. Chelsea at Brentford, Everton at Brighton, Manchester United at Chelsea, Brentford again at Spurs, Sheffield United, and then at Newcastle on March 2nd.
Yeah. No, I mean, I hate to say it, but I wish Neto was never coming back. But
will Neto kill his value as well as his starting spot?
At least his value. I think probably both. Actually, Hwang will be going to Asia Cup.
True.
With Korea, so
Hwang.
Maybe he keeps a winger role, but yeah, he won't have the set piece domination, which gives him a lot of that. So yeah, Evan, I don't need your
no, Evan.
FC comments.
We appreciate it, Evan. We appreciate it.
I said it before that.
Yeah, no, I mean,
there is a little spot next to Ryan that could fill the Evan space hole that we have on the pod.
Yeah, there is absolutely one more spot. Yeah. Maybe, I mean, 2 if we had to push it.
Yeah, if you get rid of that duck.
In there. You could get rid of that duck if we paid some money.
StreamYard, yeah. StreamYard's getting only this free pub with the duck, but if we get rid of that, they're going to start charging us for sure.
Yeah. I mean, the duck has been doing fine.
The duck is nice. Plus, we're some cheap sons of bitches. Yeah. So it is what it is.
Sign up for
None of us know what Evan looks like.
All right, so really quickly, Ryan.
Maybe Evan is the duck?
Evan. Peking duck, maybe. It's the holidays, right? All right, Ryan, I wanted, and Toddy, and listeners, we have a set piece taker tracker on our site, on the draftsociety.com. And when you head over there, you will see that Pablo Sarabia currently is commanding 44% of the set pieces. He is 33% reliant on set pieces for his fantasy scores. So that is a bit concerning, like you said, Ryan.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
But yeah, who cares? You know, the past 3 game weeks have been great. I think he probably scores pretty well against Chelsea. Like, these are the types of streamers that help you win titles, getting these short little purple patches of players on a free. So yeah, I mean, again, it says it all. Be thankful for what you have. Live in the moment.
Live in the moment. Draftmas present. Speaking of, Toddy, who you got?
I have one Jedi, Anthony Robinson, who we said would never replicate his 13 interception.
He hasn't, to be fair.
To be fair, he hasn't.
Not in the interceptions, but
he made up for it in other stats, and then he dropped, I think, 7 or 9 or something like that this game week past. So
unbelievable.
So he's been ghosting. He must be top of some sort of ghost form table.
I'm sure. We have our ghost point tracker, and doesn't that do last 3 weeks?
Yeah. Let me take a look.
I'll look into it. Go ahead, Toddy. I'll keep talking. I'll look into it.
He ended up with 10 with 3 goals conceded against Newcastle.
His form is 13.
He's second to only one player. Can you guess who it is?
In terms of ghost point form?
Ghost point form.
Sarabia?
No.
I'm kidding.
Trent.
Nice job. Yeah, Trent. Absolutely. Trent, ghost point form for 14.7. Soboslai would unfortunately have something to say about that. And Anthony is 13. Pascal Gross, 12.9.
Anthony has been lights out. I don't have him anywhere, but I'd be thankful for his presence as a ghost of Draftmas present.
There you go. Present. Different. I love that. Homonyms. All right. Anyway, I went with a pretty obvious one in Cunha. This is one of those. I think everybody knows that this is one of those you just it's like a dying ember in a fire, and you clutch it while it's still glowing, and you try not to smother it because you. Just be honest here. He's had several games where he scored a goal and gotten like 12.5 points. Other games he miraculously. Go ahead.
I mean, Cunha has had several games where he has scored a goal. Full stop.
Correct.
That is essential.
Yeah, listen to yourself.
Yeah, that is.
That's enough of a miracle, a Christmas miracle.
Exactly.
He's more of a Bob Cratchit to me. Underappreciated, obviously.
No, but it's Ghost of Draftmas present. Like cherish it while it's here, because it's not. I don't think it's always gonna be. Like I really
think it
don't.
might.
Oh man, against Fulham, 12 with a goal. Against Arsenal, 12.5 with a goal. Yeah, I mean I don't. And like against Aston Villa, 2 points. Against against Sheffield United, 3 points. I just think like that's more or less
his Cunha we know and love.
Yeah, that's his baseline, and it's just like he's been kind of balling out. I don't know.
But he's also had games where he's had like 8 or 9 successful dribbles. Like the guy's had some good ghost point outings. Like
yeah, no, I totally agree. I totally agree.
And when you take it in totality, like he's been scoring very well. And you probably got him in like on a free or in the late rounds.
You're right. I don't know. Pubs with Ab is saying, it's one of those where like if you could trade him out, I would definitely do that. I would definitely do that. Trade him in? That's the opposite of this the theme for this slide.
I've been pondering trading him in like all season, and I can't bring myself to do it. But
exactly.
That's why he isn't a Bob Cratchit.
Exactly. Yes,
he's a ghost of Draftmas present.
Because I don't want to ruin him for everyone else.
Or he remains underappreciated, even from Ryan.
Not true.
Who purports to be a Wolves. Yeah, maybe he's appreciated just correctly.
I'm doing it for Wolves.
He's appreciated the correct amount.
Yeah.
Which is in the moment you appreciate him.
Just maybe Mrs. Cratchit.
Once he flames out, you no longer appreciate him. Oh man, George says he sent a Willian plus Harrison to get Cunha in.
Wow,
yesterday.
That's where we're at.
It's a lot for me.
Is that a new profile pic? Look at the black and white. Jesus.
Oh, it's good, George. You look fantastic.
Man.
You look fantastic.
Look like you're a tenured professor.
Strapping man. Nice job. Anyway, Sanji. If you want to get complimented like that, you should join us on the live stream and comment in chat. We're happy to critique your profile picture and talk about the ways in which it makes you handsome. Sanji, who is your Ghost of Draftmas present?
It's like the Fantrax version of Hot or Not.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
Just everyone's hot.
Everyone
exactly.
Is hot. If you play Fantrax, if you play Draft PL on Fantrax, you're hot.
I'm gonna put that on my Tinder bio. Okay, so I'm gonna go with Dubravka. There's a lot of like chatter about Newcastle's possibly going to get a better goalie in January, etc., etc. So I don't know. I'm slightly concerned as a Dubravka owner in a couple of my leagues, but I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts. It was a little concerning how he started with the 1 point, then the 2 point, then the 6 point, and the thing was he got the 6 points after conceding 4 goals. So I was like, all right, let me stay positive. And banged out 18 points versus Fulham. So if Newcastle can keep clean sheets, they've got a top 4 defense in the league, assuming everyone is fit. Hottest banter relative right here. Is he telling me I'm hot, or is
no? He's saying he is.
Oh,
Banta Grandpa. He is the hottest Banta relative.
I disagree.
It's as if Banta's your family name now. Like that's just
I'm Mr. Banta.
Right.
But assuming everyone comes back fit, Newcastle go back to being like a top 4, top 6 sort of team, real stronghold in defense, because they're out of Champions League, they're out of EFL Cup. So are they in FA Cup? I can't even remember, to be honest. So they should have less football to kind of focus on, which is good for them, I think. Like, it was a good run in Champions League, but I think if they had fallen into Europa, we would have seen a lot of the same, like their recent form, which was pretty much just only good at St. James's Park. But hopefully now they're coming up against Luton and stuff like that. So I think if you're a Dubravka owner, just hold on, enjoy the points, and hopefully it goes until the end of the season.
Yeah, I'll take this opportunity.
Hopefully Pope is back soon, but
just for Newcastle's sake, but
yeah,
I'll take this opportunity to say that you and other Ryan had a nice conversation about Dubravka on the Banta Boys podcast this week, and just as a reminder for people to go and listen, go to Banta Boys, listen to them, check it out. They do a great job. I've been liking the waiver pods. Sanjay, I don't know how often that's or how regular that's going to be, because that's a lot of work, man. So I applaud you.
But I love our community, so
of course,
it's worth it.
Yeah. Anyway, check out Banta Boys for sure. It's a good listen. All right, let's move on. Last one, guys. Last one. The ghost of Draftmas future. This is where we get to be optimistic. We get to look ahead, look forward into the great unknown, and reassure people that these players have only good things to look forward to. Ryan?
Man, this is another easy one, and it's
he looks so good today.
Another reminder. Since I've watched him since he's been back, it's just like, man, dude is just a monster. And you just think he's gonna crack on from here. This is not even a fully fit Olise with all of his weapons around. He's I don't even know what the PPS average is since he's been back, but 25 and a half, 17, 19, 18 and a half today. Like, the dude's been a monster. Like I said, he's just been back for 5 game weeks. So he's going to go from strength to strength. And he was a tricky one going into the draft because obviously he was injured. And so you had to price that in. How long do you want to hold somebody like that? And you probably had to get him like 4th round or something. He had his first start at around Thanksgiving, so a long time to hold. But if you did, you're probably happy if you're still in the race. I know a lot of folks that have him in my leagues are out of it already, but that's probably for other reasons. But if you have him, you got to be very thankful. And like I said, he's going to be a top 10 player rest of season.
Oh, I love that one. Yeah, Toddy, that trade is so good. Oh,
yeah. I was gonna say that he took the penalty against City with Eze on the field as well. So there's although we've seen set piece takers get back to their set piece taking duties slowly after injury, but if that stays on, that just elevates his value even further.
Yeah, completely agree. All right, Toddy, I'm actually surprised to see yours here. Hit us with your Ghost of Draftmas Future.
Mine is Luke Shaw, and it's purely based on hopefully for United fans, Lisandro Martinez and Maguire or Varane being healthy for the second half of the season, meaning Luke Shaw can actually go back to his left back duties, which is where he actually is able to score fantasy points. So if you could get him in based on, like, I'm not very excited about United or the way that they're gonna finish up the season, but I think we've seen enough from them, even in their broken form, that they will end up being in the conversation for Europe, which means that they will keep on winning, keep on getting lucky breaks, keep on getting unlikely clean sheets, keep on getting unlikely attacking returns, and a fully fit Shaw is however much we don't like United, or I don't like United, has to be one of the best left backs in the league. So if you can get him in based on what he's shown since
exactly yes
since his return from injury, then I would try to do that.
I like it. All right. Mine seems like you're already living pretty high on the horse. And so it's like, why would you make this the Ghost of Draftmas Future? That's kind of strange to have Ollie Watkins, be your Ghost of Draftmas Future. Well, I'm just, when I go to our toolkit, which of course, if you're willing, now we do have the sale going on. You can get the season pass for the rest of the season for a really, really great deal. Anyway, if you go to our fixture difficulty tracker and you input forwards from now until, let's say game week 28, there is one team that is at the tippy top of that list, meaning that they have the friendliest fixtures for forwards, and that's Aston Villa.
Did you just say at the tippy top?
Tippy top, absolutely, yeah. And that is Aston Villa, including Sheffield United, Burnley home matches, and then of course you've got another Sheffield United away match. You have Man United twice in that run. You have Forest at home for Villa. It's beautiful. It is beautiful, and I just think it speaks for itself. Like he's already been fantastic. I think he's one to buy high, honestly, which is kind of rare to say. I'm pretty stoked about the rest of his season prospects.
What would you have to give up to get Watkins, though?
A lot. Yeah, but right now, if you could send Alvarez for Watkins, you'd do it, right?
Yeah, I'd probably do that.
Yeah,
probably, yeah.
Because
what about
Alvarez is probably going to lose sets with KDB coming back too, right?
What about Salah?
No,
I'd still take Salah even with
AFCON.
Yeah.
Okay, that one to me is close though.
It's closer than it seems.
Closer than it maybe should be. Right, exactly. So, I mean, that just speaks to my boy Ollie. I don't have him in any leagues. I wish I did.
Someone else's boy, Ollie.
Someone else's boy. Unfortunately. My long-lost son. Return home.
Oh, Speaking of long lost sons and someone's boys,
I told you that in confidence.
Did you?
No, just kidding. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask.
I was making an illegitimate child joke.
Have you been adopted yet?
Oh no, I have not. No, I have not. The paperwork is held up. It's a whole thing. We're still working with the lawyer. I've not been adopted yet. But yeah, thanks for following up. I appreciate it. But no, not yet.
He said he told it in confidence, and he said it on a podcast.
No. I was making a joke about illegitimate children, which as I know of, I don't have any. As far as I know. Anyway, Sanji, you kind of already alluded to this one a little bit, but tell us more about why you picked this guy.
Yeah, Cody Gakpo. So he, again, just going back to his numbers, he's got the third best goals per minute per 90 minutes ratio of Liverpool. Can anyone guess who's first? It might be a bit of a surprise.
Goals per 90 minutes. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Harvey Elliott?
No.
Gotta be. Oh, that was my guess.
Come on, Totti, bring it home as the Liverpool fan.
Oh, is it Virgil?
No. What?
No.
Oh.
What?
Oh yeah, never mind. He plays a lot of minutes, doesn't he? He plays a lot of minutes.
Be someone who, it's is it Curtis Jones?
No, it's Diego Jota.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then Mo. But yeah, Gakpo in
I guess
third.
that makes sense.
Nunez in fourth.
It's a weird stat, man.
I know, but I'm all about the weird, right?
That's true.
But yeah, no Salah. Gakpo's gonna get minutes, I think, and I think he's gonna be a vital part of Liverpool's title challenge. If not during the small period, I think he can play a role moving forward as well, rest of the season. So, yeah, that's my shout.
I like it. I'm hoping for Liverpool's sake that you're correct. He's such a strange player. He's such a strange player. It's like he seems intelligent on the ball. He's got great hold up play. But it's a lot of times it's I don't know. It's hard to put your finger on like why he's not better.
Scoring
also his goals are like either bangers,
yeah,
or just like
tap-ins
or mistakes, or it just bumps him, or just comes off his back or something like that. It's strange. It's a strange.
Yeah.
So he's only had one goal this season, so was it a banger or was it a?
But he scored a few in Europe and in the League Cup as well. So, but yeah,
Azerbaijan United.
Yeah.
You guys,
you know.
I completely forgot.
Your team spent enough time in Europe League.
Yeah. No,
I completely forgot that I uploaded this sound effect.
I thought that was in my ear. I was like, what the hell?
I'm going to use this a lot now from now until we're done.
I genuinely thought he had like some surprise segment he didn't tell us about. Introduce it on the pod.
That would have been.
I thought my YouTube was coming back on. Yeah,
would have been really smart. Anyway, no. All right, let's leave the Draftmas Carol for this year. We shall maybe revisit this next year. Yeah,
that was lovely.
It's been fun. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Got me in the mood to see A Christmas Carol.
Nice. Very cool. All right, so we don't want to keep everyone here for their entire Christmas break, but we do have some questions that were posed by listeners/viewers. Some of them in Twitter, some of them on Discord. So we don't have to dwell on these too long, but let's just kind of knock these out, and then we can get to our streamers and let folks get off to bed and await the coming of Santa Claus in a few days. So, Sanji, I'd like to speak to you about the first one. Tom Husband, Fireworm21. Hit up Tom. He's awesome. And give him a follow. How do you even start to value Nkunku? I'm assuming nowhere near draft day value yet. Came on, played 20 minutes midweek. Yeah. And I think SofaScore, if I remember correctly, scored him at like a 7. He had a pretty good outing.
Yeah, we touched on him on the Banter Boys pod. I mean, in terms of Fantrax ghost numbers, there was nothing really.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll be honest. I wasn't able to catch the game. Just been busy with work and Christmas stuff. But I saw his penalty, and my God, that was that was a hell of a finish.
Yeah, it was.
So he clearly still knows how to strike a ball. Put the ball at the back of the net. But it's tough to say what his output can look like, because things, again, for like the umpteenth time at Chelsea, is going to change. And I mean, from a statistical point as well, right? Because Nico Jackson's going to be heading off just now. So where is Nkunku going to play? Is he going to play up top? Is he going to try a different system? So it's very hard to judge. I do think Nkunku will get attacking returns. I mean, he showed a bit of it in preseason, but we've not seen it in the EPL. So it's tough. Like, the fact that he didn't put up any goals slightly worries me and makes me think he's just going to be goal assist dependent. But I think once he does get up to speed, I don't see why he won't start every single game for us.
Yeah.
I think he's that important. And it's also the effect that he will have on other players. Like, he's a good player, which is going to make the players around him perform a bit better as well. So, man, that's tough. Like, what round was he going in?
I was going to say, like, where did people... Period? Yeah, where did people get him in drafts? Because, like, look at
second.
Yeah.
Okay. Second is too high, but like, look at the likes of Rashford, look at Matoma, look at the guys we've been talking about that are, you know, Morgan Gibbs-White, just guys that have clearly fallen out of where they were drafted.
For reference, Robbie right now in the updated crisp new rest of season ranks has him at 41. The players around him
ADP
is Douglas Luiz 38, James Tarkowski, Alex Isak, and then Nkunku, and straight after him Bernardo Silva, Pinnock, Doucouré, Paquetá, Rashford, Shaw, Cunha, Luis Diaz. So players that we've just talked about.
I mean, yeah, and both in positive and negative lights. I think, yeah, that's good company to be in. 41 overall, that's I would try to trade him in if anyone in any of my leagues like didn't properly value him at the moment, which they all do because they've held him for 4 months. I would try to get him in, but yeah, I think Tom, if you have him, you rest easy. You're going to be fine.
I think you can possibly buy him even lower, because I wouldn't expect him to start the next game week either.
I don't think you can buy him. I don't think. Like, not even.
I think you could sell him high. You could sell the news.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Struggle.
Exactly. And that was. If you can sell him on 41.
Okay.
I would sell him for.
Dougie Luiz and those guys around there.
I would not sell him for Luiz. I would not do that.
Probably not Dougie Luiz, but I would sell him for Isak.
Robbie has Doucouré lower than Nkunku.
I would rather Doucouré.
That's my boy.
I'd take Doucouré.
Let's look above. Let's look above. Let's look
above. Lights out.
Yeah, Paquetá I would do. Dominic Soboslai, Draft Alchemy's asking.
I'd much rather Soboslai.
Whew. That's a tough one considering his form. I know he just scored.
Which is this Dominic Solanke or?
Oh, is it Solanke or Soboslai?
I
assumed it was Soboslai. Solanke.
I'd keep Nkunku.
Yeah, I think I would too.
Solanke.
Yeah, he said Solanke.
Yeah.
Let's look at the guys above quick. So Pedro Neto.
No, Neto.
Yeah, no, I'm saying Ryan's strategy of selling Nkunku on the news. If you could get in Neto, you're doing that.
100%
What about Tony?
I'd probably do that too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
KDB.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, I would.
KDB.
Okay. What about Diaby?
Nah.
With his,
he's been off. He's been off.
There's been some strange stuff going on there. What about somebody like Gallagher or like Palmer, one of those two.
I take Palmer.
I just don't. I just think that Big Todd's gonna go dick swinging again in January, and then they'll have another four attacking players who need to be integrated straight into the team to positions that have players playing well. Like I have no clue why there is a rumor, and it is a definitely happening rumor kind of thing that Gallagher is being sold. I know financially it's because his sale would count 100% towards FFP as he's a homegrown player, and then they could sign someone else. But man, I think he's been the best Chelsea player this season.
He's the only one not on a 9-year contract.
Yeah, that's fair as well.
So they better sign him up till 2040 or he's gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I wouldn't be actively looking to get a part of that Chelsea attack, but I'd rather Palmer than Nkunku, and I'm with you there, Mr. Banta.
Yeah, I mean Cole is good, man. This kid is looking very promising. And at the moment looking like our best signing for the season. I feel like he's just involved in anything good that we're doing going forward. He's very mature for his age, for sure. You can see the way he's trying to dictate play, and I don't think he's gonna lose penalties. So, yeah.
Even if you all bring in like a
Ivan Toney
profile striker, yeah. Ivan Toney, or
I doubt
even the masked man himself.
Who's the masked man?
Yeah,
Simon.
Thanks, Ryan.
I don't know. We'll see when that happens, or if that happens. But I think just right now, Cole I think has penalties. So, I mean, comparing to Nkunku, I'd take Cole. So,
yeah, but all that to be said, I like Nkunku. I think if you could get him in, do it. I mean, otherwise, you're holding. Don't sell low. Don't get freaked out. Like, this is your time. You've held him for this, so just chill, relax. I almost made him Ghost of Christmas Future for me, but I just like that schedule of Ollie so much. But I was you could say I was a sea hair away from making my Ghost of Christmas Future. Anyway, moving on. All right. This is from Costa. King Drogbalian. Amazing. Who would you rather own rest of season, Grealish or MGW?
I think this is a Ryan question.
A month and a half ago, I would have had a different answer for this, but I'm at my wit's end.
I've always thought that this answer was going to be Grealish, and keep saying that.
Okay, Ryan.
Unless Doku is out long term, I think it's MGW. I want to see what he'll do under Nuno. Yeah, Grealish will have some decent flat track bully performances with Dooku's out, but rest of season, I don't see him being a top asset, and MGW might not either. But I feel more bullish about him being nailed on and then regaining set pieces under Nuno, who wants to have a talisman along with the wing back. So
the issue for me, the issue with this value proposition with these two is that you want Grealish for those explosive 30-pointers, whereas MGW you want to be the JWP light. And if he's like Grealish will, I think we can agree that will definitely bring that. Whether it's 8 games rest of the season or 12, we don't know. But for those 8 or 12 games, he's gonna be able to get you very close to a game week win. Whereas best case scenario, MGW gets you ticking over.
Yeah.
Worst case, he continues to be what he is right now. So if you are one of those managers who likes to churn his roster and able to navigate benchings that will come with City assets, then I would definitely think that you can get much more value out of Grealish. If it's just like points rest of the season, I can kind of see MGW getting more points rest of the season, but it wouldn't really translate to wins. So it's like, I think the war for Grealish will be higher than MGW.
Well, how fortuitous, Toddy, that you mentioned City assets, because that leads us right into our next question. So again, Costa, King George.
It's like I read the.
It's amazing, honestly. The level of crystal ball etude that you have is amazing.
I think it's crystal balliness, but
yeah, it's crystal balliness. Yeah, crystal ballsiness. I think is what it probably is. Anyway, moving along. So Costa again had a second question, and this is kind of backed up by FPL Drafter at Rod_Robbie. So he says, who would you rather own rest of season, Alvarez or Nunez? Which I'm curious to hear Ryan's take on that one as somebody who manages both. And then FPL Drafter sort of adds to that. If you own Alvarez, what are you doing? Are you trading away, trading for a City asset, or are you just holding?
Yeah, I do have both, and Jesus Christ. Rostering Nunez, man. Most of these grays right here. I've thought about selling Alvarez on a relative high for a while. But I think I want to wait until after the festive season because they have a decent schedule. Everton, Sheffield United. Yeah, I mean at Newcastle, that's a rough one. So
yeah,
I was kind of
Burnley.
Yeah, but that's a while. That's the
True.
end of January. I was targeting kind of after Sheffield United, to be honest, because yeah, obviously KDB is not going to start for a while, but maybe that Burnley matchup, January 31st, he's back. In which case you want to have gotten great value for Alvarez by then. So I've been kind of earmarking after that Sheffield United at home matchup. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I mean, he's not going to fall off a cliff with KDB coming back. I mean, KDB still coming back from a long-term injury. He's old, yada, yada, yada. They're going to be in Europe for a while. So
yeah,
that Champions League EPL dynamic might actually, in a weird sense, work out better for Alvarez. But yeah, to be safe, I think, depending on what you can get after that Sheffield United matchup would be my time to pounce, and hopefully he gets a haul, and then you can just deal him out and let somebody else manage that KDB competition there.
But Nunez is definitely not enough to get for him, right?
No. The easy answer is, who would you rather roster rest of season? It's Alvarez, not close for me.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth with somebody in one of my leagues, or he knows my loyalties and has been tempting me with Jesus for Alvarez for a while now. So after Sheffield United, I might actually go back to the well and do that deal. But
has he been offering it straight up?
Yeah, but which hasn't been enough up until this point. But at that juncture, I might cash in. But I think you might be able to get more. But that's kind of, I think, the baseline.
All right,
that's a good target.
This one's going to seem long, but it's fairly simple. Start sit. Let me break it down for you quick. So this is Farnsworth. This was on Discord. He's basically saying start Diaby versus Sheffield United or Nunez versus Arsenal. It should seem pretty straightforward. The only problem being Diaby being not quite as nailed as Darwin, at least currently in the current lineup. And he's in a lineup lock league. So I'm assuming at the beginning of the game week, which this might already be moot at this point, but at the beginning of the game week, or let's say at the beginning of the day or whatever, lineups lock. So would you still start Diaby, even though he seems like the better choice, but in a lineup lock league, and then you find out maybe Diaby doesn't start, would you still go him over Nunez against Arsenal?
I mean, if he's locked before the start of the game week, then this is already gone.
Yeah. So pretend that it's not. You're just trying to weasel out of the question. Let's be honest.
I am.
Sanji, help me out here, Sanji. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
By the way, I was gonna take Nunez over Alvarez, but the question.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, I just feel like there's players to come back fit for City, and maybe it affects Alvarez's minutes. And I saw the point about what if they lose the PL race and target Champions League. It's a valid point. Also, that surely that XG dam has to break at one point, right? So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a bit more exciting if you go Nunez. But the toolkit thing about the question that we're on right now, Diaby versus Nunez for this game week. I think I'd probably just go Diaby. I'm not sure Nunez starts that game. Is that game the last one of the game week as well? No, I think it's Chelsea
on
Wolves.
Saturday.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's a long time to wait to find out whether or not Nunez is benched. So I think I'd just risk the Diaby.
I'm gonna go Diaby.
45-minute cameo. It's Sheffield United, man. Like anyone can get attacking returns versus them. So
yeah. All right, another long one. Let me break it down for you quickly. Those who are watching can pause for a second. I wanted to include this. Wyclef is new to our Discord channel. I just wanted to say, hey, welcome. Happy to have you, man. That's awesome that you joined. But basically, he's saying he's been trying to get Trippier in all season. And so the owner of Trippier has been trying to rip him off, basically. But he finally got kind of a reasonable offer. Trippier for Nkunku and Palmer. Would you guys do that?
I would.
You would?
Yeah, I think so.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
It doesn't say, but he's in a 10 team. In a 12 team, it would be much closer, but in a 10 team, I would want the higher value asset.
Okay. I mean, Trippier's been struggling.
Yeah. The selling point for Trippier is they're completely out of Europe now. So he won't have
out
many
of
games.
the cup as well.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So his
They
old
need to get back
legs
to
won't have
fitness,
to. Yeah, exactly. If they weren't, then I would probably say Nkunku and Palmer.
I think I'm still in Nkunku and Palmer barely, but
It's close.
yeah, that's a really close one.
But yeah, if you've been pining for Kieran all season, then this is enough to do it. I mean, that thirst must be quenched.
It's also a positional thing, right? You're getting a forward, you're sending a forward and a midfielder, and you're getting a defender. So it's roster dependent, I think, definitely. Sanji, is there any chance that Palmer loses his spot?
No, I doubt that.
Okay. And you told us that Nkunku is probably nailed, once he's back to full speed.
I don't know. I feel like that's a bit too much to give up for trips.
It's really close, right? I mean, it's very close.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, what are you doing with that extra spot with Trippier? I guess you stream defenders, right? But the thing is
you just got into defender.
If you can stream defenders, then I would probably take the upside of Nkunku Palmer. Like, there's a lot of unknown going into approaching this question. Just how will Chelsea kind of change with Nkunku in. Oh, I think I'm gonna go Nkunku Palmer. Yeah, gamble on that upset.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Let's see. There's probably one that's going to be a little bit, I don't know, more in depth that we're maybe going to have to skip. We're already getting pretty well on into the evening. Let's pause quickly on Gavin's question. Are there any worthwhile handcuffs this season for the fixture congestion? Anybody got any quick guys you want to throw in who you're rostering just for the festive season and maybe hoping that here or there they get a start, but otherwise you might not roster those guys?
Maybe Beto DCL.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But Everton's schedule is, if I remember correctly, not the best. It's Spurs, City, Wolves, Villa, Fulham, Spurs, City.
Can score against all of them.
He getting there, yeah. That's right.
They all let in goals like it's their job. Man, City. Wow.
Yeah.
Any other ones?
That's a good shout.
Let's see.
Would you do Gomez, Tsimikas?
I was wondering about Liverpool guys. You're not going to hold.
I've been holding Gomez for that Tsimikas cuff, but I'm debating dropping him this week.
I drop him every week and pick him back up for the game week.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
What about Liverpool attackers though?
Because he's worthless for anybody else without Tsimikas, right? So like you think that people are going to pick him up, but like it doesn't make any sense for anybody to just pick him up on a whim, especially against Arsenal, who you probably don't want to start him anyway. So, but that changes depending on the matchup for sure.
Yeah.
Couple others that I could think of, if you can get them, Callum Wilson, Isak, or two of the three Crystal Palace forward players, Mateta, Edward, or forward one IU.
Forward one IU. Yes.
We scored today.
Yep, absolutely. Olise assist. Gavin is in the chat throwing in Bailey and Diaby. I think if you have Diaby, I think you probably roster Bailey over the fixture congestion.
Yeah,
I think
Digne and Moreno.
Yeah, pubs with Ab saying Digne Moreno.
I thought these were ones that you didn't want to roster outside of the festive season. That's why I didn't offer up any of those.
Yeah. Are you rostering Bailey?
I mean, people have been.
Oh, he's a streamer to me.
I assume Totti was rostering Bailey in all leagues.
I thought you were a Caribbean boy.
Me? No, I couldn't get him anywhere.
I know you're not Jamaican, but still.
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah. It's like a area, like an area of the world.
So my neighbor back home in Trinidad, one of the guys I grew up with, got to meet Bailey in person because Jamaica went to Trinidad to play. Yeah, I was quite upset.
So Ryan, we've all dropped Moreno weeks ago, and now are you back to holding him?
I mean, if I had him
after just the one start. Well, the Digne was out with a yellow card accumulation. I don't think.
I think Digne probably comes back in, but like for their matchups, I mean, I would definitely hold over the next couple.
Oh man, chat.
I'm way too sober for these jokes.
Y'all are cracking me up today. All right, guys, let's close her down. Let's get to some streamers quick, and then we'll let people get on with their holiday festivities. Okay, Game Week 18 streamers, 1 week plays, potentially multiple weeks, but we're just kind of looking at the 1 week. So Toddy, go ahead and hit us with who you got for this game.
I want to preface this by saying that I was the last one to get into the doc, so all the scraps for
explains a lot.
All right.
So Unai has been saying that he wants to have a look at Langley, and he's supposed to be a 90% starter against Sheffield United tomorrow.
Okay.
On Friday. That is, I would start him if I had I would start him ahead of Tsimikas against Arsenal. If we were gonna do the Aston Villa asset versus Liverpool asset thing. I know we said that Newcastle may be getting back to doing stuff right, but they're still conceding a considerable amount, and Adebayo has been on form, so he's a decent forward stream. But I'd much rather Odegaard, who ended up in 9.5 ghosts, I think, this last game, last weekend. And he's playing Fulham, who have been decent, but I wouldn't be sure that they're defensively solid. So I'm definitely starting Odegaard anywhere I can.
All right. I like it. Ryan?
Just any idea what Longlay's ghosts were last season?
Was he at Villa or was he at Spurs?
Spurs, right? Yeah.
I want to say 2.
I'm gonna say like 5 to 6.
2.
Yeah, they're like 5-ish.
Totty.
So yeah, if you don't get that clean sheet,
It's a clean sheet play. It's a clean sheet play.
It's a clear. It's
That's fair.
Clean sheet
That's
play.
totally fair.
And a spoiler, like I have Diego Carlos on mine, so
Yeah.
It's purely a clean sheet play. Yeah.
No, that's fair. I just want to caution.
And we've
no,
been,
you're fair. It's like a city defender.
We've been waxing lyrical about how much of a
Not chasing clean sheets.
fortress Aston Villa's home games
True.
have been. So I think, and they're playing the worst team in the league. It all adds up.
We shall see.
So when McBurney gets that 32nd minute goal,
Yeah. That's when the addition falls apart.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I think Nico's been the flavor of the week, given that he scoring decently the past couple weeks is finally getting some starts again. Nuno coming in with his wingback system seems to favor him, although I don't think Aurier is completely out of the picture when he's fit, so that's something to keep an eye on, who Nuno favors once both of them are healthy. But in the meantime, Nico passes the eye test and goes pretty well. So Bournemouth at home could be worse. So they've kind of come off the boil a tiny bit. So we'll see if there's a new Nuno bounce at the City Ground. Sinistera, I feel like you could put him in this every week. He's like a Ben Rama. If he starts, he's in good shape.
I know.
The reason I added him this time is because it looks like Semenyo has a knock. So if he was going to start, you'd think that this would be it. Although they have so many different pieces that he could very well not. But against the chaotic Forest, you also like the matchup, and it's an earlier game, so easy drop if you absolutely have to. This one might seem a surprise, but I was pleasantly surprised with Caicedo last week. I know it was Sheffield United at home, which is the best matchup you can have, but passed the eye test, and without Enzo, he seemed a bit more forward. I don't want to say unlucky, because if you pass a through ball to Nico, you're not going to get an assist. But he was unlucky technically to not get an assist, because that ball was fantastic.
He was unlucky not to have the ability or the opportunity to pass to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. He was unlucky that Palmer, I guess, wasn't on the end of it, and Nico Jackson was. But could have had an assist or two.
Or Romelu Lukaku.
Or Kai.
Yeah. Yeah. Kai would have fucking slotted that in.
No, that's too far. Sorry, I went too far with that one. Kai would have missed that.
Not on present form, but anyways.
Anyway.
Yeah, I thought Casado looked well. And yeah, 10.5 ghosts at Wolves. I kind of like him more as a late game cover. He's available on I think almost every league. And Chelsea Wolves is the last game of the game week, and I think you could do a lot worse than like having him as cover and having to slot him in given his last game week. And then yeah, Keane, man, slotted back in and didn't disappoint. Drops a 27 on us.
God.
Yeah, Genie rejoices. I know Mikalenko's just came back into training, but if he's not fit enough to start, I think Keane might get another run out against Spurs. And I think I get a weird feeling. I think Spurs are due for a kind of drop off game, and Everton is in good form, and they won't be. I don't think they'll be phased. So, and I think he'll have a fair amount to do. So I kind of like Keane in this matchup if he gets the nod, even though you would think that going against the Spurs attack wouldn't be a good one for a defender, but he shows he can ghost and get you the odd random goal. And I think Spurs are due for a banana peel game. So yeah, that's your lot.
That's an interesting one. Yeah, I've thought about that too because I have him in a league, and I was like, do I drop him? Am I really going to start him this week? It kind of takes some intestinal fortitude on that one to actually start him. Yeah, but
he doesn't let you down.
I'm with you. All right, Sanji.
All this Nico Jackson slander, man.
He has an opportunity to not have it. He could.
He has had an opportunity.
Who's your top scorer, Ryan?
I'm sorry?
Who's your top scorer for Arsenal?
You mean Saka?
Goals.
Goals. Who's your top goal scorer?
Probably Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, 5. I think he's tied with a couple of players. Nico has more than that, by the way.
Oh shit! Oh, dude, where are you guys in the table with all those goals going around?
We're not speaking about table position. We're just speaking about.
We're speaking about 20 minutes against the 9-man Spurs back line. That's what we're speaking about.
There was camped out on the halfway line.
Didn't he have a 4-goal game? Was that it, or?
That's what I'm saying. Take away that, and fucking Kai is killing him. But go on.
Still scored it.
It's true. It's true. The knives are out. Says Draft Espresso.
Facts of facts, though.
All right, give us your streamers. Stop starting fires here.
So I think this is like one of those easy strategies is try and get assets that are facing like the bottom of the table teams. So this is a good opportunity for a team that was bang out back-to-back 5-0 wins. I do think they're gonna miss Raul Jimenez. This guy was. Like, he came back to a confidence level that he was taking bicycle kick shots outside the box and shit. It was crazy. But yeah, I think
one would say overconfident.
Yeah.
One could.
So I think you can take any asset really from Fulham versus Burnley. Like, Burnley are just struggling to get results, performances. So it's easy, like Adara Bioyo, like since I think game week 14, like December 2nd, something like that. Adara Bioyo has been averaging like 12 points a game. Kearney is another asset that's been averaging like 11 and a half. Yeah, like Kearney especially, he's kind of broken back into the team. And like these guys are mentioned in the waiver wire article that we did this week. So I mean, if you want to see like a better breakdown, definitely go read the article. But because Jimenez got the red card, we're expecting either Vinicius or Muniz, I think is another name that's floating around to get the nod. So you'd expect Fulham to get a result, and they're surely going to want to bounce back after that 3-0 defeat to Newcastle. So the last one I'm going to end with is Petrovic. So Sanchez is going to be out for a little while with his knee injury. I think we do have a decent fixture run for like at least the next 6 to 7 game weeks. So this isn't just a one game week play. And he knows how to save a penalty. He did it in the cup game as well, the penalty shootout. So yeah, I think it's a nice goalkeeper position to grab while he's hot. So yeah, those are my 4.
That's Mr. Banta. Nice. Yeah, no, I like it. I like it, Sanji. I think, yeah. Tosin, man, what a blast from the past. Even just mentioning him, brings back warm memories.
Yeah,
I'm all for nostalgia during this festive period.
Yep.
All right, let me throw you the ones I got, and we'll shut it down here and let people get back to their families and to their loved ones and to all those other holiday festivities that they've got going on. So I don't mind Miley versus Miley Cyrus, of course, versus Luton. Could be decent. I mean, why not? Just someone to throw in there if you're in need of a midfielder. Newcastle are struggling with obviously with injuries, a little bit with form, but we've seen that he's contributed on the attacking side, and he's getting into some areas that, I mean, I don't want to say he's consistently in dangerous areas, but he could pop up with a goal. Joe Linton appears to be injured, not long term, but it's going to be a couple weeks. So yeah, why not? Miley's worth a shout. Zabarny, he, from all intents and purposes, it looks like he was continuing kind of his ghost point accumulation last week until the suspension of the game. He's had a pretty good run recently. I don't mind him away at Forest. I know that's usually a tough matchup, but like Ryan mentioned, there's been some turmoil there recently, obviously, and you got your new manager coming in, and I just think there'll be an opportunity for even if just for aerials. And then, like I mentioned, Carlos versus Sheffield, clean sheet hope only, just like Toddy's mention of Longley. So those are mine. Anything else to add, guys, before we shut her down?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Draftmas. Merry Christmas. Happiness to one and all. And if you're celebrating other holidays, you're just as cool. I think you're really neat as well.
If not cooler.
Yeah, for doing that. That's neat. Yeah. All right, draft community, you guys are the best. It's another year that's been humbling, to say the least. Thank you so much for your support. You all truly are fantastic. Get in on the Boxing Day Perfect 11. Head over to Twitter, check it out. We want to have as many people in that as we can. It's $3, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be just a whirlwind all day. And you'll be checking the lineup, seeing who's on the top all day, and just seeing if you can match it. And it's going to be a blast. What were you saying, Toddy?
We actually have 2 fun categories, so most of the money will be paid out to the winner and second and the third. But we have the manager with the highest scoring individual player.
Yes, that's awesome.
And the worst score with 11 starters.
But it has to be starters. That's
it
amazing.
Has to be. It's not like you forgot that you entered and then you haven't set a lineup.
Team.
So you have set a lineup out of the players that are actually playing that game week or that day, obviously.
That's the best.
And the worst score out of those.
It's like an entirely separate competition if you choose to take it on. That's so great. Anyway, yeah, get in on that. We'll all be partaking, and it should be a blast. So anyway, all right, community, you guys are the best. Happiest of holidays. One and all. You guys are amazing. So cheers, and we will try to keep you all in the loop about our festive season pod schedule. But just keep checking Twitter. We'll update you with proposed schedule going forward. But otherwise, best of luck. We'll talk to everyone soon. KPC out. Cheers, everybody.